According to an article on the official CDC website from December 17, 2019, the Spanish flu killed an estimated 50 million people worldwide. That is 3% of the world population during the epidemic in 1918. Today, that'd be equivalent to 210 million people. That is 4 times the amount of people that there were in 1918. According to an article from Doctors Without Borders from 2020, the mortality rate of COVID-19 is 4%. If the whole world was to get infected with COVID-19 right now, it would barely be worse than the Spanish flu comparatively. From the widespread panic that media has been spreading, I decided to get some research going on whether this COVID-19 was really as dangerous as it seemed. I thought it seemed exaggerated, so I decided to research other epidemics and comparing it to COVID-19. I realized that the Spanish flu was probably the most similar in terms of how recent it was and its worldwide spread. The panic from media made me realize that the COVID-19 isn't as dangerous, and that if current actions are kept in place, that it probably won't even be worse than the Spanish flu is most years. This speech will explain how COVID-19 is comparatively less dangerous than other historic diseases through a compare and contrast with the Spanish flu. I'll begin by comparing the Spanish flu and COVID-19 through transmission and symptoms. They're both very similar with the fact that they're both viruses, which means that antibiotics do not work effectively. They also spread in the same way through saliva. That makes them highly infectious because of symptoms such as coughing and sneezing. Along with those symptoms, the CDC mentioned in their December 17, 2019 article that both of them include symptoms of fever, cough, body aches, and other similar flu symptoms. Along with that, they both cause pneumonia and affect the respiratory system. This means that people with weaker respiratory systems and immune systems are in more danger. Even though they both have the same symptoms and causes of death, the Spanish flu is still much more dangerous. The Spanish flu is much more dangerous because of the time period that it was in. In the CDC article from December 17, 2019, it explained that the Spanish flu was during the end of World War I in 1918, so that it spread mostly in army camps, which were all close together and made the spread very easy, and those would be brought back to the home countries where it would also spread. Another issue with the time period is that science did not understand diseases very well because there weren't microscopes that could examine the viruses. So at that time, they didn't even know that the Spanish flu was a vein of the flu that they usually got. With that in mind, since they didn't know it was a flu, they didn't know that they could make a vaccine for it. That is why we are so much better off now, as there is a vaccine incoming, as we know that a vaccine can be made for a virus no matter what, and that there are technologies that will help stop COVID-19, such as respirators, pharmaceuticals, and even just the healthcare system is better as it lowers the spread and helps those who are sick. Comparatively, COVID-19 is much less dangerous than the Spanish flu, as we live in an age of technology and medical advancements that can help cure COVID-19. That is why we shouldn't panic, as it really won't be as bad as the media is stating, as long as we follow the current guidelines from current healthcare officials and governments. COVID-19 will die down and everything will be back to normal, just like the Spanish flu and other epidemics throughout history.